Okay, imagine this. You're 19 years old. You open your dream business, and it fails. So you try again. That one fails too. You try a third time. Fails. Fourth time? Also fails. Most people would give up, right? But what if I told you that the person who failed 4 times went on to build one of the most beloved brands in the world? A brand so big that there's literally an entire town named after it? His name was Milton Hershey. And before he created the chocolate bar you probably have in your pantry right now, he lost everything, multiple times. But here's the thing. He didn't just build a candy company. He built schools, parks, and an entire community. He changed what it meant to be successful. Today, Lily and I are breaking down the story of Milton Hershey, the man who turned failure into the sweetest empire in America. Stick around, because we're also brainstorming a business idea you can start today, inspired by his story. This is Tallie Talks.
She's got a mind, she's got a spark, lighting up dreams from dawn to dark. Tallie Talks, yeah, she's the voice, asking the questions, making the choice. Young hustlers rising, stories to tell, big ideas where passions dwell. Pull up a chair, grab your seat, let's talk the hustle, let's feel the beat. Tallie Talks, yeah, Tallie Talks, turning whispers into walks, dreaming big, take the shot. This is the place where dreams get called. Tallie Talks, oh, Tallie Talks, Tallie Talks, ooh, yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to Season 2 of Tallie Talks. I'm your host, Tallie Pennyworth, and if you're new here, welcome. This season is going to be epic. I'm teaming up with my friend Lily from the podcast Blueprints of Power. She knows everything about history's biggest empire builders, and together we're diving into the top 20 entrepreneurs who changed the world. Every episode, we're pulling out lessons you can actually use and brainstorming a kid business idea inspired by that entrepreneur's story. So Lily, welcome back to Tallie Talks.
Thanks, Tallie. I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be such a fun season.
Today we're talking about Milton Hershey, the guy who literally created the modern chocolate bar and built an entire town around his factory.
And he did it after failing 4 times. Most people don't know that part.
Right? Okay, before we jump in, quick fun question. What's your favorite chocolate?
Ooh, I'm a dark chocolate person. The darker, the better.
Nice. I'm a milk chocolate girl all the way. Hershey's cookies and cream, chef's kiss. Okay, so take me back. Who was Milton Hershey?
So Milton Hershey was born in 1857 in rural Pennsylvania, like serious farmland. His family didn't have a lot of money, and his dad was always jumping from one failed business idea to another. Milton only went to school until 4th grade because his family needed him to work.
Wait, 4th grade? And he became one of the richest people in America?
Exactly. But here's the thing, even though he didn't have formal education, he was a really hard worker. When he was 14, his mom got him an apprenticeship with a candy maker in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and that's where he fell in love with candy.
So he learned the trade young.
Yes, for 4 years he learned everything, how to make caramels, taffy, all kinds of sweets, and by the time he was 18, he thought, I can do this myself.
Ooh, I love that confidence.
So at 19 years old, Milton Hershey opened his very first candy shop in Philadelphia.
Okay, here we go.
And it failed.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he worked incredibly hard, but he didn't have enough money to keep it going. After 6 years of trying, he had to shut it down. He lost everything.
That's heartbreaking.
But Milton didn't quit. He moved to Denver and tried to start another candy business. That one failed too. Then he went to New York City and tried again.
Let me guess, also failed?
Yep, 3rd failure. At this point, he's broke. He's in his late 20s, and most people would have given up. But Milton had this idea. What if he went back to Lancaster, where he started, and tried one more time?
So what changed the 4th time?
2 things. First, his aunt and a friend believed in him enough to loan him money to try again. And second, he decided to focus on one product, caramels. But not just any caramels. He experimented with adding fresh milk, which made them creamier and better than anything else on the market.
Ooh, so he innovated.
Exactly. And this time, it worked. The Lancaster Caramel Company became a huge success. Within a few years, Milton Hershey was a millionaire.
Yes, finally.
But here's the crazy part. Just when he's at the top of the caramel game, he goes to the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago in 1893, and he sees this new invention, chocolate-making machinery from Germany.
Wait, so chocolate wasn't a big thing in America yet?
Not really. Chocolate was expensive and mostly for rich people. It came in fancy boxes, and it wasn't something regular families could afford. But Milton looked at that machine and thought, what if I could make chocolate that everyone could buy?
Oh, that's genius.
So he took a massive risk. In 1900, he sold his caramel company, the thing that made him rich, for $1 million, which is about $35 million today.
Whoa.
And he used that money to go all in on chocolate. People thought he was crazy. He already had a successful business, but Milton believed chocolate was the future.
Okay, so what happened next?
Milton started experimenting. He wanted to create a milk chocolate bar that tasted amazing but was affordable. He spent years testing recipes, and in 1900, he launched the Hershey Milk Chocolate Bar.
The Hershey bar.
The very first one, and it was a huge hit. Then in 1907, he invented Hershey's Kisses.
The little wrapped ones?
Yep. With the little paper flag sticking out the top, they became iconic. And because Milton figured out how to mass-produce chocolate, he could sell it for way cheaper than European chocolate. Suddenly, every kid in America could afford a Hershey bar.
That's amazing.
But Milton didn't stop there. He wanted to build something even bigger, so he literally built a town. He called it Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Wait, like the whole town?
The whole town. He built houses for his workers, schools, parks, a hospital, even an amusement park. He wanted his employees to have good lives. He paid them well, gave them benefits, and made sure their families were taken care of.
That's incredible.
And here's one of the coolest parts. Milton and his wife, Catherine, couldn't have children. So in 1909, they founded the Milton Hershey School, a boarding school for orphaned boys. And when Catherine died, Milton gave the school his entire fortune. His shares in the Hershey Company, everything.
Wow.
By the time Milton Hershey died in 1945, the Hershey Company was one of the biggest chocolate companies in the world. Today, Hershey's makes billions of dollars a year. The town of Hershey is still there, still thriving. The school he founded now educates over 2,000 students and has an endowment worth over $17 billion.
That's unbelievable.
And every time you eat a Hershey bar, a Reese's, a Kit Kat, or a Twizzler, those are all Hershey products. You're part of the legacy Milton built. A legacy that started with 4 failures.
Wow. Okay, we're going to break down the lesson from Milton Hershey's story in just a minute. But first, a quick word about something super cool. Okay, so you know my co-host this season, Lily? Well, she has her own podcast with her best friends, Jack and Charlie, and it is so good. It's called Blueprints of Power, and if you love history, empires, and wild stories about how the greatest civilizations rose and fell, you need to check it out. Jack, Lily, and Charlie sit in a studio and break down the craziest empires in history, like the Romans, the Mongols, the Ottomans, and they make it funny, smart, and totally addictive. It's like hanging out with your friends while learning about the most powerful people who ever lived. The entire first season is available right now on YouTube, so go watch it, like it, follow the channel, and share it with your friends. Trust me, you're going to love it. Again, that's Blueprints of Power on YouTube. Go check it out. All right, we're back. So Lily, what's the big lesson from Milton Hershey's story?
The lesson is, failure is not the end. It's just information. Milton failed 4 times before he succeeded, but each failure taught him something. He learned what didn't work, and he kept refining his approach. Most people quit after 1 or 2 failures, but Milton kept going because he believed in what he was building.
So it's like, don't be afraid to fail. Just make sure you learn from it.
Exactly. And here's the other lesson. When you do succeed, think about how you can give back. Milton didn't just build a business, he built a community. He took care of his workers, he educated kids who had nothing, and he left behind something way bigger than money.
So success isn't just about what you make, it's about what you give.
Yes, and one more thing. Sometimes you have to let go of what's working to build something even better. Milton sold his caramel company when it was at its peak because he saw a bigger opportunity in chocolate. That takes guts.
I love that. Okay, so don't be afraid to fail. Learn from it. When you succeed, give back. And sometimes you have to take a risk and let go of good to create great.
Nailed it.
All right, Lily. Now for my favorite part. Time to brainstorm a kid business idea inspired by Milton Hershey.
Let's do it.
So, Milton made chocolate accessible to everyone, right? He took something fancy and expensive and figured out how to make it affordable and delicious. And he experimented with flavors and products until he found something people loved.
Exactly. So what if kids created their own custom hot chocolate mix company?
Ooh, I love that. Like they make their own signature blends?
Yes. Think about it. Hot chocolate is something people love, especially in the fall and winter. But most store-bought mixes are pretty boring. What if kids created unique flavors and packaged them in cute jars or bags?
Okay, yes, so like what kind of flavors?
You could do classic flavors like double chocolate or mint chocolate, but then you get creative. Salted caramel hot chocolate, cinnamon sugar, cookies and cream, even pumpkin spice.
Ooh, or peppermint bark. Or s'mores flavor with mini marshmallows and graham cracker pieces.
Yes. And here's the thing. Kids can buy the ingredients in bulk: cocoa powder, sugar, powdered milk, and then add fun mix-ins like chocolate chips, crushed candy canes, or caramel bits.
And they could package them in mason jars with cute labels and ribbons. It would make an amazing gift.
Totally. And you could sell them at craft fairs, farmers markets, school events, or even online. You could even do custom orders like, "What's your favorite candy? I'll make a hot chocolate mix inspired by it."
Oh, that's so fun! And you could do sample sizes, just like Estee Lauder. Wait, we're covering her later this season. But like, give people little sample bags so they can try before they buy the big jar.
Exactly. And here's what kids would learn: recipe development, sourcing ingredients, pricing their product, packaging design, and marketing. It's literally everything Milton Hershey did, just on a smaller scale.
And it's something you can start with like $20 or $30 of supplies.
Yep, you could even create a Hot Chocolate of the Month subscription where people get a new flavor delivered every month.
Okay, I'm obsessed. So who's going to start the custom hot chocolate mix company? Let us know. All right, everyone, that's episode 1 of season 2. We explored Milton Hershey, the man who failed 4 times, then built a chocolate empire and an entire town.
Lesson: failure is just information. Keep learning, keep building, and when you succeed, give back.
And our kid business idea, custom hot chocolate mix company. Make unique flavors, package them beautifully, and spread some sweetness.
Next week, we're talking about Walt Disney, the man who got fired from a newspaper for not being creative enough, then went on to create the most magical entertainment empire on Earth.
I can't wait. Thanks for being here, Lily.
Thanks for having me, Tallie. This is going to be a great season.
And thank you for listening. If you love this episode, tell a friend, leave a review, and send us your business ideas. We might feature them in our finale episode.
Because the world needs your ideas.
See you next time on Tallie Talks. Peace out.